Hey guys, it's Gail with popculture.com, and we are here with Matt Stell. Matt, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, glad to be here.
We have a lot of things to talk about. Prayed for You. This song has completely taken off. I want to know, first of all, the story behind that song.
Yeah, well, so I wrote Prayed for You with two of my best friends in Nashville. Ash Bowers, my manager, and Allison Veltz. And Ash and I were waiting on Allison to get to the right, and she called and said, hey, I'm running a little late, but I got this idea. Because she had just met, who's now her husband, she had met him about a week before. So she was kind of in that headspace, and she came in with pretty much what's the end of the chorus. Didn't know you from Adam, it was more than I could fathom, but I prayed for you. And we just kind of, that was our point of departure. We took off there and kind of infused it with our own relationship experiences. And not only relationships, the song is about a relationship, but it's also about, persevering in anything, whether it's school, work, family, just hanging in there long enough to allow good things to happen. And that was kind of our muse, and we chased it down, and took us 2 days to finish the song. But when we did, we thought we had something cool.
Did you walked out of there then thinking, this is it, like this is a...
Well, you have enough of those feelings of this is it when it's not it, that it doesn't, it's kind of, you get a little gun shy on thinking it, that man, this is it. But we knew when we left that room that day, we did what we set out to do. And that's like kind of how I have to judge every day, in terms of writing songs. Did we accomplish what we meant to? And we thought we did that day, yeah.
The interesting thing about that song is, as we were talking about, when your publicist Heather sent it to me, I cried. Because it's about a love song, but it can also translate to so many other things. I had a daughter that I was adopting, and so I prayed for her for a lot of years before we got to bring her home. And so were you aware, as you were writing it, that this song is going to take on a much bigger meaning?
Well, we sure hoped so, that it would, because that was kind of the idea that we had been sort of working on, was the fact that not only you hang in there long enough to let good things happen, but they can it can just be sort of any of those aspects of life that you may, in the case of the character in the song, which is a lot like me, I'm not. It's not like I deserve the luck that I've had in terms of getting to do this for a living, or having a great relationship. Like, I didn't do it. If anything, I don't deserve it. And there's a lot of people that do more. So to answer your question, I mean, we were really just thinking about all the times that you stick it out, and all the times that you get things that you maybe don't deserve, or that come your way just because you put yourself in a position to let things happen.
And top 15?
Top 15, I think, yeah. I'm the worst, chart watcher that there is. Because I have no, once you sort of turn it out into the wild, it's like you push the bird out of the nest and it either flies or it gets eaten by a cat. So hopefully hopefully the wings got to flapping a little bit.
So you don't obsessively check it every week? Wow.
No, I'll get a text or a call from somebody, and they'll kind of let me know, because I'm pretty good about. It's like my first rodeo, so I don't really know what to expect. I don't know what numbers are good or bad, so I just judge my reaction on the smiles or the frowns on the faces that are giving me the news. And we're fortunate to have some smiles here lately.
Okay, I want to get to the rest of your music, but first, you get to perform this song on TV next week. Tell us about that.
I do. So had the opportunity to go down to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and play this song at a wedding for The Bachelor in Paradise, which was incredible. They're not overselling it when they say Paradise. It was one of the coolest places I've ever been. I was only there for 22 hours, but it was great. It was really cool to see all those people come together to celebrate two folks, and just get to be a part of that special event for them or for anybody. I'm always pretty humble whenever people want to include this song in a wedding or in a playlist to a boyfriend or girlfriend, because I make music for that reason, that my favorite songs touch me in a certain way. So it's really cool to think that that other people feel the same way, and it was cool to do it on a big old TV show too.
Yeah, it has huge ratings. So this song is on Everywhere But On. That's your EP.
Yep.
Okay, how many songs are on it?
I believe there's 6 songs on it. There could be 7, but I can't remember.
Do we know what the next single is?
No, we don't know what the next single is, but it is a lot of fun to get to talk about a next single. So we're enjoying. I'm really fortunate to be a part of a really great team, and I really trust and value their input. So once I write these songs, I pretty much I have a lot of creative latitude. So when I turn in songs for a project, I generally believe in all of them, and then so whatever ones get sorted through and chosen to, okay, this might be the next single. I really just put that in the hands of the people that have done it before, and I have my own opinions, but it's fun to hear what everybody thinks because there is a multitude of opinions. So
okay, anything you're pulling for?
Not really. I love Everywhere But On. We named the EP that. I was really proud of that song. Wrote it with two of my good friends, talented guys here in Nashville, Lance Miller and Paul Sykes, and I love that song. But I also love, I Bet Whiskey Would. I'm honestly, I'm really pretty happy with most of it. To be real honest with you, just in terms of an expression of how I can be creative. So I'm good with any of them.
Let's go back to the beginning with you, because you were on an entirely different path.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't be more different. Pre-med. Talk about your path from going from pre-med to, nope, I think I'm going to do music.
Yeah, so, basically what happened was I had moved to Nashville. I'd had some success writing some songs in the Texas world. With some artist friends of mine, and I moved to Nashville to do that here, and with the dreams of making my own music too. And I moved to town here, and the wheels turn slow, and you never know where you stand at any point in time in the music business ladder. And there was a point where I went on a medical missions trip with my fiance, and we worked alongside doctors and pharmacists in Haiti. And when we got back, I was like, if this music thing, I'm always going to play music. I'm always going to write songs. But if it's not what I do for a living, what else would I do? And I thought, well, man, maybe I'll kind of explore this physician route. And I applied to a pre-medical program.
Tell us where.
At Harvard, and at their Harvard Extension School, but in the Northeast. And I got in, and so I basically had a decision to make, and man, it was about 8 weeks before I was about to leave Nashville and move up to the Boston area that I got the publishing deal. I got an offer for a publishing deal here in town, and had a decision to make, and decided that if I left Nashville without at least trying what I set out to do, it would have felt like quitting, and that wouldn't have been good for anybody. So I decided to stay, and honestly, I haven't even once second guessed it. I'm really, really fortunate.
So you don't ever watch those medical TV shows and be like, I could have been a doctor?
No, well, in the course of trying to decide what I wanted to do, I spoke with a lot of physicians, and if you'll talk to, you may already know this, but if you talk to your primary care physician, they will tell you real quick that that is not what it looks like most of the time. In fact, most of the time it's just a mountain of paperwork and dealing with a lot of other stuff that's not medical related. So, but yeah, there are some times, when just working alongside those doctors in a place where, they're just, we take for granted, I take for granted the services that we have just at a phone call or a car drive, and going down there and just being a part of improving these people's lives, I just thought it was the coolest thing ever, and so I do think about that sometimes, but man, I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It just feels like that I am at this moment.
We agree. Okay, I can't let you go without talking about this. You're going on a big tour this year.
I am going on a big tour this year.
Chris Young. So how did you find out he was inviting you to go on tour? I love these stories. Did he call you? Was it through management?
It was, so we have a lot of mutual friends, and our teams are sort of have some members that have that are involved in both, and so I found out from a phone call from management, and found out it was going to be Chris Young, and who I'm a big fan of, and had actually just met him a few weeks before that, and really got to hang out with him here in Nashville, and so that was really, really cool for all that to happen. And then Eli Young Band's on the tour as well, and I'm a big fan of them. So I really don't think I could be in a cooler place this fall and winter. So I'm really excited about it.
Do you get nervous before you perform?
Sometimes, but the most nerve-wracking things are not typically don't have to do with the size of the crowd. It has to do with the blood alcohol content of the crowd. And if it's not high enough, it's a different vibe. So it's almost like a must be this tall to ride situation. There's a beverage minimum that I enjoy folks to have before we go and play a show. But no, sometimes I do get nervous, sometimes I don't. But it's just kind of dependent on the context.
So drink before you go to the show.
It makes every show better.
When Prayed For You goes to #1, will you come talk to us about it?
Oh man, I can't even. From your lips to God's ears, right? Of course I will if that happens.
All right. For more on Matt and all your other favorite artists, please visit popculture.com.